Tonight, we're learning more about a project that looks to clear up a local waterway that has not been dredged for about 20 years. Tonight, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Mobile District hosted a public meeting in Bristol for the Apalachicola Chattahoochee Flint, or ACF, dredging project. This is to evaluate the potential of resuming dredging operations. Officials say they were recently directed by Congress to relook at the ACF, which before had federal dredging for commercial traffic. The goal is to restore reliable navigation on the ACF river system while balancing economic, environmental, and community interests.
Right now, there is no decision being made. Right now, the most important for them to know is we're looking for input from these communities so the decision makers can look at the engineering along with the environmental impacts and along with the public input to make an actual sound decision what to do with the ACF.
Officials say they'll continue gathering information about the project. Next year, they'll release the findings from the entire environmental impact study to include this public input.